You may be seated.
What a wonderful change
Give him the hardest time you can. You can tell him I said it. That's my uncle. And I went and filled in for him last Sunday night, and I filled in for him, and every time I fill in for Danny, or every time Danny hears I went and preach somewhere, he always asks me the same question. He goes, did you preach, or did you go up there and play around? That's what he always asks me every time. So now that I know he's going to be here, I will call him, and I'm going to say, well, did you preach, or did you just play around? So I get to ask Danny. But if you got your Bibles with you today, we're going to be in the book of Joshua. Book of Joshua. It's in Joshua chapter 6. The sixth book of the Bible, starting off in the 6th chapter. And I'll go ahead and be honest with you. I've looked all week, thought about it all week, trying to figure out what I was going to preach, Looked through some old sermons, wasn't done then yet. And looked, couldn't figure out what I was going to preach. Last night I had to coach a football game. So I went and coached a football game, and I was there at the game, the whole time during the game, I'm trying to coach this football game, still trying to figure out what I'm going to preach the next morning, but I couldn't figure it out. So I go to my girlfriend's house after the game, and I'm sitting on the couch, and she can tell I'm thinking about something. She goes, what's wrong with you? I said, what are you talking about? She goes, you just look like you're in deep thought. I said, I am. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to preach on tomorrow. Last night, I didn't have it. I stayed up till 11 o'clock, 11:30, could not figure it out. I said, well, I don't know what we're going to do. So I might just have testimony time the whole time during the service. I said, if anybody else got a word on their heart. So I went to sleep, and it hit me like a ton of bricks this morning. So this is all kind of thrown together. That's why I don't have a piece of paper up here. If you see me looking at my phone, I got all my notes here. I promise you I ain't texting, okay? So if you got your Bible, like I said, we're going to be in the book of Joshua, chapter 6. Like I said, the 6th book of the Bible, the 6th chapter. And funny enough, the title of my sermon is Don't Stop on 6. Don't stop on 6. So if you've got your Bible, we'll start reading in verse 1. And it's a lot of scriptures. You just have to bear with me for a little bit. It says, Now Jericho was straightly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out, and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And ye shall compass the city, and ye men of war go around about the city once, and thus shall do so for 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And on the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they hear the long blast with the ram's horn, and when they hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat. And the people shall send up every man straight before him. And Joshua, the son of Nun, called the priest and said unto him, Take up the ark of the covenant. Let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto the people, Pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass before the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priests and blew the trumpets, and the reward came after the ark. The priests going on, blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, Ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you shout. Then ye shall shout. So the ark of the Lord encompassed the city, going about it once, and then they came to the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord, and the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went continually and blew with the trumpets, and the armed men went before them, but the reward came after the ark of the Lord. The priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And the second day they encompassed the city once and returned to camp, and they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day and encompassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they encompassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, when the priests blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for the Lord hath given you the city. And the city shall be accursed, even all that are therein, and the Lord only. Rahab the harlot shall live. She and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers we sent. We'll get down toward the end. It says, And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves accursed when ye take of the accursed thing and make the camp of Israel accursed and troubled. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron shall be concentrated unto the Lord, and they shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priests blew the trumpets, and it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, the wall fell down, so that the people went up into the city, and every man straight before him, and they took the city. I told you it was a lot. So like I said, the title of my message this morning is Don't Stop at 6. And we're going to look at this, and looking at this scripture, I found kind of 3 ways. I'm sure there's a whole lot more if you dig into it and look. But I found 3 ways us as Christians, us as people, let things get in our way sometimes. Let things stop us from what we're supposed to do. And the first thing we're going to look at is our perspective gets blocked. You hear a bunch of P words. Our perspective gets blocked. It says in the first couple of verses, I'm not going to read all through this probably again. You've seen why when I read it the first time. So we're just going to break it down. So, the Jericho, they built the wall. To give you a little history, Jericho was not a very large city, but it was very well protected. So when I think of Jericho, it's kind of bad. The first thing I think of is a prison. Not very, very large, not a huge city, but it's very well took care of, very well guarded. Has a wall up above it. And it says our perspective gets blocked. You see, the Lord told Joshua that they were going to go take this land. Actually, if you look at it, it's funny the way it's worded. If you look, it says, Ye shall accomplish the city. Let's see. Here it is, in the 2nd verse. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. Notice how that's worded. It says, I have given. Not I will give. Not I'm going to give. I have given. You see, he had already given the Israelites, he had already given them people this land. It was just theirs to go take it. It had already been given to them. It had already been promised to them. You see, sometimes we pay too much attention to what we see more than what God said. See, a lot of times as a parent, I'm not a parent, but I'm speaking from my parents' experience. They're not here, I'm going to talk for them. So, as a kid, a lot of times your parents would ask you to go clean your room. And I'd go clean my room. I would say to the best of my ability, that'd be a lie. So I'd go clean my room. Most of the time, what do you do as a kid? You throw everything in the closet, you push it all up underneath the bed, and that was mine. Mine was always underneath the bed. I pushed everything as far back underneath that bed as I could. It never dawned on me when my parents come and look, you know what I was going to have to do? Pull everything out from underneath that bed that I'd pushed back as far as I could. But what I said didn't match with what my mom and daddy seen when they come and look at my room. They say, Jared, is your room clean? Do you clean your room? Yes, ma'am. Yes, I did. And they come look at my room and they find out real quick it didn't take long. They figure out my room wasn't clean. They didn't have to look real hard to figure out my room wasn't clean. See, a lot of times as Christians, what we do when we say we're Christian, what people see in us ain't matching up with what we say. When other people see us out and about, not just inside these four walls of this church, when they see us at the grocery store, when they see us at the ball field, when they see us in a restaurant, are we walking that Christian walk like we're supposed to? Is what they see matching up with what we say. So Joshua's here, he's looking at this wall, and I would imagine it's a pretty tall wall. I'd imagine it's tall enough that nobody can climb over. So we'll just say, for instance, it's as tall as the ceiling in here. But the Lord said, that's your land. So Joshua sees this wall, but his perspective didn't get in the way. See, the Lord told him what was on the other side of it was his. He just had to go get it. See, you know why I love coming to church and coming to worship? And why a lot of times I love hearing other people preach? Because when you hear other people preach, and when you come to church and you hear somebody speaking to you, or you hear the songs, your perspective changes on things. Your perspective lifts you up and gets you to look over that wall. Helps you look over what's coming next. You see, that's all it was for here. And a lot of times, as Christians, we have a hard time doing that. We have a hard time putting things in perspective. We have a hard time looking over the little stuff that's going on here, what's on the other side. We have a hard time looking what's around the next corner. Because we're so much here right now. My daddy tells me, we live in a generation, we want everything here right now. We want it now. And I can understand that, but I grew up in it my whole life. It's harder for people my age to see it. More older people, senior citizens, I don't like calling you older people. I say more mature Christians. That's what we use around my house, more mature Christians. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure some of you remember when there was no such thing as a microwave. And when the microwave come out, those TV dinners, man, Johnny on the spot. You could have it right there. Wasn't no cooking. You could have it right then. Oh, it was the best thing since sliced bread then. Now nobody want to eat TV dinners. We're so caught up in a generation and a people as a whole that want stuff right now. We got to have it right now. We can have endless amounts of information at the touch of a button. We can have it right now. Now, even I could actually speak for this even before smartphones came out. I can remember that. You younger kids in here might not be able to remember that. When I wanted to know something, I had to go to the library. That's a building, if you didn't know, where they store books that have knowledge. And if you went to that library and you had to learn something, you had to study on something, and somebody might have had the book that you needed. You ask the woman who works up at the desk, and you ever notice the people at the library aren't the very nicest people in the world? I don't know if it's because they have to be quiet all day or what it is, but you get up there and ask the lady, well, where's this book? Somebody else has it. Well, how am I supposed to get the knowledge that I seek? You have to wait till they bring it back. Well, when are they going to bring it back? Well, they can keep it for a month for a nickel. Well, I need it here right now. So you see what I'm saying? We're in a group of people. Us as a whole, we need stuff here right now. We have a hard time looking and changing our perspective on things. But Joshua didn't have that problem. You see, Joshua, when the Lord told him it was yours, he was going to go get it. You can look up many other times in the Bible where people, their perspective was totally different because God told them they could do it. David had to slay a giant. But the Lord told him he'd be with him. The whole Philistine army wouldn't go fight that giant. They wouldn't go touch Goliath. Wouldn't nobody else go. The Lord said, if one will go and fight this man, that is your land. Nobody else will go. David went. David's perspective was where it needed to be. Daniel had to stay in a lion's den. Why? Because his perspective was where it needed to be. There was a command that said not to pray. There wasn't going to be no praying. Prayer was to cease, but Daniel's perspective was where it needed to be. Just like Joshua's was. But not only does our perspective get in the way a lot of times it's a good thing for us. Sometimes our perspective is right. Sometimes the Lord says you can have that. But let me remind you, just because the Lord promises you something does not mean you already possess it. Just because He has promised you something does not mean you possess it. He promised the Israelites that land, but they had to go get it. You know, the Lord has promised each and every one of us a kingdom up in heaven. But if you don't accept it, you're not going to get it. If you don't accept Him, you're not going to get it. It's promised to you. It's yours for the taking. We just have to be one to go get it. Y'all are lively this morning. Y'all know that. But not only does our perspective get in the way, our progress isn't always obvious. Our progress isn't always obvious. So what happens? Joshua gets his command from the Lord, and he goes and tells the armies. He says, look, you guys get together, get the Ark of the Covenant. We're going to get these horns, we're going to get our trumpets, and we're going to walk around this wall and blow our trumpets and carry around the Ark of the Covenant until this wall falls down. But you notice something? The Lord told Joshua before how many days it was going to be. He said, you'll walk around 6 days. He said, then on the 7th day, you'll do it 7 times, and then you'll shout and the wall will fall down. Joshua didn't tell his army that. Joshua just told him to march. See, a lot of times the Lord treats us the same way. He don't tell us how long something's going to take. See, life, wouldn't it be a whole lot better if life told us we got, just make it through this. It's on the other side. It's going to be great. If you get through this little rough patch, oh, it's just around the corner. Just 2 more days, and you're going to be on the way up. But it don't happen like that. And a lot of times us as Christians, what's the first thing we start asking God? Where are you? I know you said you do this for you because you love me, but love me a little less. See, a lot of times we just don't think about it like that. There's an old song that says, for the God on the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make it right. And the God of the good times, He's still God in the bad times. The God of the day, He's still God in the night. See, when we're going through those rough patches, we forget He's the same yesterday as He was today. He's the same back then with Joshua as He is today with us. My parents got themselves in a little wager, pastor and pastor's wife, that's just nice right there, ain't it? Got themselves in a little bet, a little competition on who could lose the most weight in 2 weeks. So they both went on this no carb, no sugar diet for 2 weeks to see who could lose the most weight. Well, after 4 days, my daddy had lost 5 pounds. And he kept talking to my mama and talking to my mama that 4 days my mama had lost weight. So all I keep hearing, and let me tell you something, when you're a kid and you live in this household, when your parents go on a diet, this means you go on a diet. Because you eat what these people fix, okay? Now don't get me wrong, I love my mother to death. She's one of the most godly women I've ever met in my life, and she spoils me and my 2 sisters Me and my younger sister live in the house now. She spoils us and my daddy. When I wake up to go to work in the morning, most of the time I have a cup of coffee sitting there waiting on me and something little for breakfast. Most of the time it's like a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bun or a biscuit or something like that. When they go on a diet, you get like wraps. Okay? Something in a tortilla. This is not Mexican food, okay? Bacon, egg, and cheese is meant to go on a biscuit or on toast. It's not supposed to be in a wrap. Okay? This is the kind of stuff you get when your parents go on a diet. And you get grilled chicken. Don't nobody want grilled chicken. Fry that bad boy. Give it to me with some rice and gravy. But no, so for 2 weeks I've been on this diet. Can you tell? A little slimmer the last couple of those guys here. Lost all my hair. So they went on this diet, and so it ends tomorrow. And my daddy put on Facebook, he was starting this diet, he was weighing in at 251, his goal was 250. Don't judge me. He said baby steps, that's what he was going for. If he made 250, he'd be good. Well, this diet ends tomorrow, and my dad did weigh in at 251. I don't have a clue what my mom weighed in at, but my dad weighed in at 251. In 2 weeks, he's down to 238. In 2 weeks, just by doing that little bit. Mom's lost 2 pounds in 2 weeks, which I know, it's harder for women to lose weight than it is men. Men can shave it off and just get it going, no problem. It's harder for women than it is men to lose weight. But your progress isn't always obvious. So I get home Friday, my mom was all excited. I can't figure out why. I said, what's up? What's going on? She said, our diet. Now, I didn't want to sound mean. She's talking about this diet. Daddy's lost almost 20 pounds. Mom's lost 2. She goes, our diet. She was all excited. I'm like, it's about to be over. She goes, no. I look. I said, Mom, you ain't lost no weight. Hardly. Don't say that unless you want to get slapped. Speaking from experience. I got a handprint on my arm right now. Mama said, no. She said, come here. She took me to her bedroom, and she had a pair of pants, like dress pants she wears to church sometimes, sitting on the bed. I said, okay, what about it? She said, I hadn't worn those pants in 5 years. She said, I hadn't ever fit in those pants in 5 years. And I'm sitting here doing the math. I'm like, lost 2 pounds. Hadn't worn those pants in 5 years. I'm trying to figure out how this all adds up. She lost inches. Her waist, she had lost 3 or 4 inches just off this diet in 2 weeks. She was able to wear a pair of pants she hadn't worn in 5 years, but in her mind, all she was focused on was the scale. All she was worried about was that number. See, your progress isn't always as obvious as what it is. As what other people make it out to be. Your progress ain't going to stand out to everybody like it does you. So I can imagine, these soldiers, as Joshua's got them out here, they don't really understand what's going on. Because to me, if I'm out here marching around this building for 6 days, I'd want a block or 2 to start falling or something. Okay, I want to know something's going on here. Instead of walking around this wall, if it was me, if I'd have been God, I'd have been a fair man. You'd walked around it the first day, and 1/7 that wall would have fell down. And the next day, and then a little more would have fell down. But he didn't work like that. They started marching around this wall. I could kind of see the soldiers, I could imagine them coming home from work. Because you think, back then, it was just the soldiers that went out, really, to march around this wall. All your women and children, they stayed at home. So you imagine a soldier getting up, and he's putting on all his armor. He has his sword, his shield. He goes out. He comes home from work. He comes home, and his wife goes, hey, honey, how was work? And you men in here that are married, when your wife says, hey, honey, how was work? That means you need to give her every detail of what happened during your day. From what you ate for lunch, what time you took a break, break it down, every 5-minute spans, everything you've done that day. And then, after you explain it to her, you just stop talking, because for an hour and a half, she's going to say, do you want to hear what happened at this house today? Y'all know how it works. So I can imagine this soldier come home, and his wife was like, well, how was work today? And I'm like, imagine he's kind of embarrassed. Well, yeah, you know, it's fine. It's always an answer I get. My girlfriend gets upset. How's work? I say fine every day. So that's not what I want to hear. But I can imagine someone say, well, it's fine. Well, did you get him? Did you kill him? Did you slay him? This soldier? No, not really. I think we're kind of just scouting right now. You know, we're out here. Joshua's just got us walking around this big city. We're just kind of walking around right now, just checking everything out, I think. Then imagine going out the next day, coming back. Honey, what'd you do today? Did you get him? No, remember I told you we done yesterday? We kind of just walk around the city. Just walked, and we had to be real quiet, like elementary schoolers going down the hallway. Do your duck lips and your silence kick. We can't say anything to people blowing horns. We just kind of walk around this building. See, in life, a lot of times, us as Christians, that's just what we feel like. We like to just run around in circles. We like just going around and nothing's happening. I know with my parents, I could probably, other parents in here would agree, sometimes that's how you feel raising kids, ain't it? You feel like you just run around in circles, nothing really happening or getting any better. I can speak for my parents on me. My two sisters they were pretty easy to deal with. Which I was too compared to most, but they still had a handful out of me. Felt like they getting nowhere. And what do you do when you start getting nowhere? You send them to the grandparents' house. Let them take care of it for a little bit. You need a break. A lot of times in our Christian walk, that's how it is. We feel like we're just running circles. We feel like we're just going around. Nothing's happening. So our progress isn't always as obvious as it makes out. We're saying, Lord, I want to see progress. We want to see what's happening. I'm sure those soldiers wanted to see those walls of Jericho start falling down. See, I'm sure, you know, it can be anything. If you're at a job, eventually you want to see what you're doing at this job. Make up, you want a raise or something. You want to see something happening. If you've ever been on a big construction site, there's a new high school being built in Montgomery County right now. They're combining East Montgomery and West Montgomery to make one big high school called Montgomery Central. And I've done a little bit of work over at this new school, but if you hear everybody in the county talking about it, oh, it's never going to get done, it's never going to get done, because all they see is that outside. And it hadn't changed in 6 months. It all looks the same. The progress isn't as easy to see. So a lot of people in Montgomery County are, you know, just up in flames because they're thinking nothing's ever going to get done. It's just one big continuous thing going around in a circle. In our Christian walk, a lot of times we feel like we just walk around in a circle. My Bible tells me we walk by faith, not by sight. Amen? We walk by faith, not by sight. Sometimes our progress isn't always as obvious as it's made out to be. Not only is our perspective getting blurry, and our progress isn't always obvious, but the process is open-ended. See, Joshua didn't tell these boys how long they were going to go around this wall. You see, the Lord never tells us how long we got to go through these trials and tribulations. He'll never tell you. I remember the first church my daddy ever pastored. I was in the 2nd grade. I was in kindergarten. My daddy was called to preach. He went to school. The first church he ever pastored, I was in 2nd grade. And some of the people at that church were amazing. Great people. Love them to this day. Still go to church with some of them to this day. And some of the people at that church absolutely hated my daddy's guts. From the time we got there, from the time we left. Some of them. I remember being in the 2nd grade and walking into a Sunday school classroom where I didn't think anybody was and hearing somebody talk about my daddy. Now, the 2nd grader, I didn't know any different. So when I'd go up and ask my mama, why is she talking about my daddy like that? I remember that. I'll never forget it. Being in the 2nd grade, walking into a classroom where I didn't think nobody was. God's honest truth, the only reason I was going in there was to get candy. And kept peppermints in that class, and that's where I would go. I remember walking in here and hearing them talk about my dad. Still remember to this day. I can't remember exactly what she said, but I remember that at the time. I remember going back and asking my mom, why would she say this about my dad? We were there for a while. I believe we were there for 18 months, if I'm not mistaken. It was tough, even as being in the second grade. Because my daddy gets so upset, he gets so mad, which is, you can do that in church. See, the Lord never told him how long he was going to be there. Never told him how long he was going to go through. But then I've been on the flip side of it too. I've been in a church where my daddy was a pastor where everything was going great. Wasn't nothing going wrong. My daddy was planning on retiring right there. The Lord said, you're done. He said, your time's up here. See, in my daddy's mind, he wasn't leaving that church. He was going to retire right there where we were at. He didn't want to go nowhere else. If you'd asked him, that was what he would have told you. To this day, he'll tell you that. That was his plan. He would have retired right there. The Lord said, you're done. Broke my daddy's heart. Broke my family's heart. I remember the Sunday before he resigned, we didn't know when he was going to resign. We just knew he was going to. My mom knew. And she told me and my sister, we went to Norwood, eat at Bojangles. That was our every Saturday morning thing. Daddy'd go hunting or go do something. If I wasn't hunting, we'd go eat at Bojangles in Norwood. We went and ate. We sat in the park. We got in the parking lot. Mama put the car in park. She said, I got to tell y'all something. We said, okay. Don't think nothing about it. She said, just remember, she said, as a pastor's kid, she goes, you're never guaranteed to stay anywhere forever. I started crying. My younger sister didn't. It hurt her, but not as bad as it hurt me. And Mama said, come on, we're going inside to eat. I wouldn't get out of the car. I sat in the car, I didn't go eat. I sat there, they went in and ate. I sat right there, I didn't move. We got to the house. My daddy come home. I wouldn't speak to my daddy. We were supposed to go to a birthday party for somebody who was still very dear friends of us from that church. Matter of fact, they go to the church we're at now. We're supposed to go to this birthday party, and the boy whose birthday party it was, he's younger than I am. He's a sophomore in high school now. But he's like my little brother. Always has been since his dad met him. We're supposed to go to his birthday party. I wouldn't get ready. I told him I wasn't going. I told him I couldn't sit there and act like I knew we were going to be there forever and then leave. My dad's going to announce he was going to leave. So the next morning, my daddy announced he was leaving. He cried and cried and cried up there in the pulpit the whole time. So did the whole family. We all did. We didn't want to leave. Getting older, and kind of stepping into what seeing where it's coming from. Because I never planned on being a pastor, I promise you that. I kind of see where it's coming from now. It's easier for me to understand now at 21 than it was for me at 14. See, we never know what tomorrow holds. We never know what tomorrow holds. We'll be here one instant, go another. God can say, you're here right now, okay, tomorrow you're going here. You never know. Sometimes it feels like you just go around in circles. Like nothing's ever going to get any better. But it says here, on that seventh day, they marched around the building the seventh time. On that seventh lap, they shouted, and the walls of Jericho fell down. So you can't stop at 6. Some of you could be on your first lap right now, around your walls of Jericho. I don't know what your Jericho is, what your personal wall of Jericho is. You could be on your first lap right now. It might be a while before your trials and tribulations are up. Some of you might be on your 6th right now. It's just around the corner, but you can't see it. Might be just around the corner before you get what the Lord promised you. Some of you might be there right now with that 7th lap. And God's just waiting on you to take that step and take what He's already said was yours. So you walk by faith, not by sight. Let Him lead us instead of us trying to lead ourselves. The Bible said we'll lead ourselves astray. To follow Him. Because His perspective is right. Always. He knows the progress. He knows what's going to happen. But He also knows the process. He knows what's going to be done. There's another old song I used to love. The Gators sing it. The chorus says, "Lead me, Lord, I'll follow. Anywhere You open up the door. Let Your words be through me. Show me what I've never seen before. Lord, I want to be a witness. You can take what's wrong and make it right. Day star shine down on me. Let Your love shine through me in the night. Lead me, Lord, I'll follow. See, He'll lead you. People of Jericho, or excuse me, the soldiers marched around Jericho. The Israelites had no idea when they were going to take this city. They just knew the Lord had promised them. You know, in this book, the Lord has promised you every blessing from heaven. He's promised it to you. It's yours for the taking. It's yours to have. You just got to go get it. Coaching football last night, I coached quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Because in high school, I played quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. So I coached these boys, and I had one last night. And he was running out for a pass. And it was wide open, it was good, and he quit running. And I said, "That's all right, it's open, run it again." I called the play, we run the same play again, the same thing happened. I told him, I said, "You got to go." I said, "You got to run." I said, "Just keep running." He said, "Well, I don't want to run out of bounds. I don't want to run out of bounds." He said, "The ball get there." I said, "Don't worry about that." I said, "You just keep running." I said, "Just catch the ball." I said, "As soon as you catch the ball, you'll be right there at the sideline. You'll have plenty of time to run." I said, "But you got to trust that quarterback." I said, "You got to trust He's going to put that ball in the right position for you to make a play." See, in our spiritual walk, our Lord's our quarterback. He's going to put it right where it needs to be. We just got to trust Him and go get it. The Bible says every blessing from heaven is promised to us. It's ours. All we got to do is take it. For you, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. For everybody, it could be different. For me, one of them being called to preach. If you'd asked me when I was little, if I'd ever thought I'd been called to preach, I'd have laughed in your face. I'd seen everything my daddy went through. I'd seen everything my grandfather went through as a pastor. I'd seen everything Danny Laws, my uncle, went through as a pastor. I told you that'd be the last thing I did. Then sometimes you feel like you just run around in circles. When the walls fell down, I figured out this is what I was called to do. Some of you don't know what it is. Some of you might be called to teach a Sunday school class. Some of you, it might be singing in choir. Some of you, it might be a deacon or to help lead the youth. I don't know what it is. I don't know what your walk with Jericho is. I don't know what makes you feel like you're just running around in circles. I don't know what it is you need to conquer. What it is you need to take over. But it's yours. The Lord tells us walk by faith, not by sight. I don't care if it looks like nothing's getting done. I don't care sometimes it feels like you're going to pull your hair out. Some of you here can't do that. Some of you ain't got none. Can't pull it out. That's why my dad is. He can't pull his hair out. He tells me it's my fault. He says if I'd never been born, he'd have a full head of hair. I understand what it feels like. Sometimes I feel like I'm not getting nowhere, especially in the church. I've seen it. One time I was a little boy, churches get stuck in a rut. A lot of times, especially as a pastor, you feel like church ain't getting nowhere. You're just in a circle. But I promise you, the Lord's already said it's yours. like he did Joshua and the Israelites. He said, I've already given you this land. I'm going to give it to you. Now if you go defeat these people, it's going to be yours. I've already given it to you. It's yours for the taking. You just got to step out and take it for you. I'll ask him to come up. We'll have a song invitation. If you do feel like you've just been running around in circles, if you feel like you just ain't getting nowhere, all it takes is that first step. That first step, out on faith. Or you shout, raise your voice, blow that horn, tear down that Jericho wall. As we sing.
Page 351, if you'll please stand and sing.
All right, Miss Darlene, it'll be good to see y'all tonight.